We're back here on our program, The Platform, and we are having a discussion with young men from the Compass Group. And in a short while, we are going to meet some young ladies as well who are themselves doing some wonderful things in our country and indeed around the world. And on our program right now, we continue speaking with Julian Believe Thompson, Jamal Roll, and Gil Kassar. And Bianca Nygard, I am impressed with your group of guests.
Thank
you know,
you. I'm impressed too.
From the Compass Group.
Yes.
And we were talking about identifying other creatives, because I'm sure there are a whole lot of young men and women in our country who are interested in music, in art.
Junkanoo is a prime example. You have thousands of behemoths. I mean, if you look per capita, how many of us have talent? It's 1 out of 3. And there's no place to, I don't want to give away the ideas, but there's no place to go if I want to be a Wendell Jones. Like, how do I access Wendell Jones? How do I access a Julian Believe? How do I access a D-Mac, a Gil Kassar, Jamaro? So the goal is to now create a stage for you to be able to showcase your talent, your gift, and to be accessible to, and to have access to the ones that did it before you.
I've seen it as, an art community. Well, there are a lot of artists in school who it's just lack of encouragement. If you're creative, you're discouraged from doing it. You're encouraged to do something that makes sense, that will make money. As artists don't make money until they die. I had a teacher tell me, he said, art is a dumb subject. I mean, I wasn't bookish like Gil, but I mean, I could have accepted that ridiculous notion and just follow the status quo, which says success is having a government job,
working in a bank.
Working in a bank or something like that.
No disrespect.
But yeah, no
disrespect.
If you want to work for the government or work for the bank, that's what you want to do. But it's important to do what you want to do. Believe in your dreams. People would see something that they can't do it, and they'll tell you you can't do it. And you let them win when you accept that. You could be a person who's stubborn like me, but I ended up doing work for Oprah, Atari, Obama, BET, MTV. Now I'm sitting, I'm having an interview with Wendell Jones.
You're funny with that. I'm impressed with the body of work that you have done over the years. I read in the newspapers and magazines some of the wonderful work that you have done. You just have a natural talent, in addition to some training, I suppose.
Yes, I've never done any formal training, but I've had I grew up with a natural talent. My father inherited, his name is Harry Roll.
Right.
He's an artist.
Yes.
I know you're familiar with some
If
of
I'm
his
familiar,
work.
I got a lot of work from him.
Yeah. And I've seen some of your work. Your work's pretty good. I was like, gee, you need to teach me.
I try.
Yeah, pretty good, man.
Well, thank you. I'm doing impressionistic work more than anything, and abstracts,
Yeah, but it's really good, really good. Wow. I saw like one of your landscapes too. I was like, oh, he isn't just abstract. He gets some skills.
I wish I had the skills that you have, because your portrait of Pope Francis was absolutely fantastic.
That was an awesome experience for me. That was like the first time I ever went away. So I used to go Paradise Island and tell people I've been away yesterday. So
you actually went in the Vatican to make the presentation?
So going to the Vatican, going to Italy, it was an awesome experience, because when I went to meet with the Pope, there were 80,000 people outside. So seeing 80,000 people one time, I'm like, wow, that was an awesome experience. I mean, when I went there, I was chauffeur driven. I had a car almost good as Wendell Jones' car. I felt like a rock. I felt like a rock star, like Wendell Jones. Somebody told them Wendell Jones coming to see the Pope. But it was good because, I mean, for me to have that opportunity, and I'm not even Catholic, just for my artwork to, extend all across the world. And when I saw a lot of Michelangelo stuff, and going to see the Sistine Chapel, and that, was humbling to me because in the Pope chambers, there were artists, a lot of the artists of the Renaissance, and I'm like, wow, it's an awesome experience to be from the Bahamas to have my work hanging up.
I'm interested in how that connection was made.
That
you were able to get the audience in the first place.
Reach a protocol.
I could talk to my manager.
And you're not Catholic.
No, yeah, that was crazy. It was just an epiphany. Just came in one day and said, paint the Pope. And I'm like, why? This is crazy. Just real, like I woke up and this Pope was on my mind and I just painted it. And it was crazy. I went to speak to some kids and I was just telling them about that. And one of the ladies was like, well, the Prime Minister, Prime Minister Christie is going to have an audience with the Pope. You should try to make a connection. And so I tried to make the connection, and it was just too late, and it failed. And then later on, I got a note from the papal nuncio who's in charge of the Caribbean, saying that they could have an audience with the Pope. And I was like, wow. So, I mean, just like Lincoln, I didn't fail 80 times like Lincoln. But, I mean, that one time I didn't really give up. But the Pope came to me. It's like, I always had a thing that, wow, one day I would write Oprah, But I had a lot of people say, Oprah have millions of people. Oprah wouldn't even get your mail. And so I never did. But what happened crazy was Oprah wrote me. I got a letter from Oprah. I got a letter from President Obama. And, I mean, I just want to tell everybody, if that's, you going against all the things coming in your favor, that's what that is. And so
But
I use a lesson.
Obviously, they must have seen your work to even put you on the radar.
Yes, sir. I'm almost big time as Julian believe, man. So, so among celebrities, I'm known because a lot of times when they come to Atlantis, I had a spot at Atlantis.
I see.
And through the VIP, they would say, well, you're that person who drew this actor. I want you to do my portraits. And so I'm sort of known among celebrities. So when a celebrity like Oprah say, can you take a picture of me? I'm like, you Oprah, you can do whatever.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that all of this is so relevant because we want to focus on sharing the Bahamas with the world, sharing the talent here with the world. And that involves market linkages, and that involves having the right platform to disseminate your skill, your service, your product. And we think the Bahamian youth need that platform. And we want to provide our resources and our network to young Bahamians.
You have a number of young athletes in the Bahamas as well, and Peter Nygard has been doing some fantastic work with Bahamian athletes, funding them over the years. And I'm sure you would want to bring international athletes in your group as well, eh?
One of the things that I've admired about sports is, unlike music and the arts, they created their own platform and then they presented it to the public. You see what I'm saying? And presented it to the public. You had the corporate community that could now say, hey, you know what? I see a Pauline Davis here who was doing really well. Let's support her. Shawnee Miller is doing well. Let's support her. And over the last 20 years, from Frank Rutherford's time to now, you've seen the paradigm shift. And now look at sports in our country. And that is the biggest platform for someone who is in bookish,
like Gil,
to be exposed and to carry the flag around the country. And it shows through investments, through the corporate community, through a lot of the people that live here in our country who are not Bahamians. They are willing to invest in you, and if you create the right movement and you present yourself in the proper way, and you see the fruits of those investments, and Shawnee Miller is one of them. So to me, what we're doing is creating the opportunity using our platforms.
platform,
And
definitely.
you know, if the right people come along and they want to share in this vision,
We welcome them. We
you're welcome.
Yeah.
You know, to speak with Lincoln and Miles and Gil on that part of it. And you know, let's see what we can do. But this is all about. I'm tired of the old way of the Bahamas, man. It's really,
Yeah.
it's really. You know,
One of the things I see you have as an objective is personal enrichment. Yes? And perhaps, Gil Kasai, you can speak to that. How young people can work on this whole idea of personal enrichment.
Yeah, I think that it has to do with serving. And what I've always found is that true fulfillment comes through providing quality service to others. And when you find your niche and you find what you're best at serving others with, you become personally enriched. And so we want to help cultivate the beliefs and the visions of young people so that they can find out the best way for them to serve. And serving doesn't have to be a poverty mindset. Serving actually is the way to success, acknowledgement, and if you're after riches, also riches. Personal enrichment has a lot to do with actually honing your skills and being given the resources that you need to hone them. We think that it's also extremely important to have a level of spirituality and soul searching so that you can figure out what your purpose is and what your vision is for your life. And once you have that vision, we find that you can throw your entire being after that. And naturally, the development process, when you're chasing your vision with your whole heart, will lead to that enrichment that you need to be a contributing member of our global society.
Interesting. You know, as you spoke, I remember way back in the 60s, there was a group called Unicall that became Unicom in the Bahamas, a group of young Bahamian men who went to college or universities in the United States, well, around the world, who came together. And you might have heard about Franklin Wilson
Sunshine Boys.
and the rest of them, and it evolved into the Sunshine Group of companies. And so the Compass Group is perhaps going down that path, eh?
Yeah.
The next Sunshine Boys.
You know, the next group of
I don't. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
well, you know, based on the wealth you people are amassing, I don't need to. You probably don't want to go on that particular run. You know.
I think one of the lessons that I know Lincoln and I share greatly about them is the fact that they decided to come together, and if each of us have $1 and we pool $10, that's better than one of us having $1 trying to get to 10. And that mantra that they've lived by over the years is something that we definitely share. So one day we hope to maybe have a conversation with them soon to find out how they did it, you know. And I think even with them, it's important for them to pass the baton on too, and be willing to share their stories with the masses and not a particular group. You see what I'm saying? Because you never know who you can empower. Some people may not be able to afford to sit in the room, you know, at that summit that they may have at the Malia Hotel or catch a ride, but you know, they may have the mindset to create the change to afford to be able to do it one day, as some of them came from humble beginnings. So I think what our elders need to realize is that gift that you have of experience and wisdom and knowledge, you must pass it on. You must share that, because we complain about the Bahamas being the way it is, but realistically, what have you done to help make it better? You know.
Interesting. This is a wonderful group of young Bahamian men. We have the talent is quite diverse here. And
They're the brightest and
you,
smartest
you,
ones that
you,
even
you
here.
can hear these guys. Their brains are clicking, ticking away. You know, so it's a pleasure to speak with them. We're going to take a break here, and when we return, I'm sure we're going to be joined by some of these young ladies who are waiting to come in these seats. We take this break on our platform. We'll come right back.